Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moltrap here, coming at you with another StarCraft 2 commentary. And this is going to be a game, just a random game between BratOK over here in the yellow at the left side of the map and a player by the name of DarkForce, blue Zerg here on the right side of the map. This is from one of the 4PL tournaments, 4PL, 4-player. I guess they do tournaments, and I don't know. I don't know too much about them. I kind of tried to find out, but there was apparently several things under the name 4PL of different kinds. And so anyway, this is from a 4PL event, if you're curious. And BratOK, of course, the yellow Terran player here on the left side of the map. Very, very, very strong Terran player from the Brood War scene, actually, originally. Got very, very far in one of the TSLs. I believe it was TSL 1 or maybe in 2 as well. Anyway, very strong Brood War player now in StarCraft 2. And I've been told, apparently, that my pronunciation, BratOK, is close enough, and it actually means bro, like the equivalent of saying bro in Russian. So, there you go. Anyway, his opponent is going to be DarkForce over here. I do not know a ton about DarkForce, admittedly. He's from the ATN clan, and he's not really, it's not like I don't know about him because he's a no-name. I've seen his name around. He plays in some European tournaments here and there. I've seen his name here and there. I just haven't actually ever watched him play before. He's never, like, won anything huge that I know of, at least. So I haven't experienced his style that much. And he's actually going to come in over here with this little overlord, sneak in here, try and see if BratOK is at this base location. He could actually probably spot the refinery and then fall back if he's clever. Yep, he's going to go up here, take the long way around, back to the natural, behind the natural, so he can sneak in and check these minerals, check for an expansion later on. He is actually drone scouting as well, which is interesting because, well, it's kind of makes sense a little bit. He didn't know where his opponent was, but also, actually, this drone is just going to chase that SCV instead of scouting. That works too. That works too. I wonder if he even knows. Well, maybe he's just bringing it back, actually. So I'm actually not sure what's going on there. He didn't go in there. Well, he saw the refinery with his overlord, so maybe that's what was going on. Maybe he just wanted to check to see if there was gas and mule falling out of the sky, being called down. Maybe he just wanted to check to see if there was gas, and because he did see that, he didn't have to scout with his drone. Is just going to bring it back to mine some minerals instead. Looks like he did go for hatchery spawning pool, I believe. Yes. Sorry, I wasn't paying too much attention to the Zerg build, but yeah, looks like he went for the hatchery first, then the spawning pool. Is getting some gas now as well, and just gonna start building up some defenses. This is well, I was gonna say this is kind of like what I do. Not that I really am a benchmark of any kind, but it's really good if you have this build planned out really well. It actually does work out perfectly, where you can get both your queens out at the same time, and you can start getting some defenses at the front. Because it is a heavy econ build, I usually also do put a spine crawler there as well, just because, well, it's heavy econ build, and you got to have some defenses in case they rush you, and the Zerg player does not know exactly what's coming for him right now, so he's got to be a little bit cautious. Early Hellion coming out here, and the SCV, I think, spotted... Ooh, and some Marines out as well. Let's just double check. He spotted the spine crawler, so notice the spine crawler's there, so I'm not precisely sure what is with the Hellion. It may just be to control the ground, make sure that he's got something good to lay down some fire on Zerglings if Zerglings decide to come out and harass his Marines or anything like that. He is moving out with several Marines actually, no SCVs to come along. He's repositioning the spine crawler now that, and he might, oh no! The Hellion actually had a moment where it could have run by before that spine crawler was completely rooted, and it missed out on its chance just because he saw the spine crawler there, and he's actually going to go ahead and fall back. Yeah. Anyway, yes, this game's starting off just pretty normal here. It looks like BratOK is going to go for... Whoa, what is this going on? A medevac is being produced, and he's going to put a tech lab on there. It looks like he's going to go for some kind of a weird drop. I'm not sure if he's going to drop the Hellions, or if he's going to drop the Marines, or maybe both. He could try an elevator up. The Zerg has some good overlord placement around his base. That's actually something really good to do. Something actually I've been trying to think about incorporating into my play a little bit more lately is putting my overlords around my base to spot things. And he is going to go ahead and pick up the Marines. And it looks like he might elevator the Marines in first, and then go back for the Hellions afterwards. The Marines are going to actually clear out the overlord. Zerg doesn't really have a lot right now on the ground to deal with this. He's producing 10 Zerglings right now. He's got 4 on the ground right now. He's got some queens, but I don't know if that's going to be able to do it against this attack here. He's got 3 Hellions. They're going to roast those Zerglings very, very easily, especially with the Marines to cover as well. He needs to fall back to those Hellions. Hellions getting massive damage in straight lines on those Zerglings as they line up to attack the Marines, killing almost all of... Oh, he picks up one of the Hellions as well. Picks up both the Hellions, actually. Nice micro. It's going to be forced to fall back, but look at that. Lost 4 Marines and killed a bunch of Zerglings. Didn't get either of the queens, though. So that was pretty well played, though. He killed a lot of Zerglings there and forced a ton of Zerglings. Wow, DarkForce with a ton of Zerglings being produced. Let's actually just do it and check. That is 24 Zerglings on the map. That is 12 larvae that, well, I mean, he needed some of those to kill off that attack, but still, he spent a lot of larvae that could have been drones on Zerglings instead, and as a result, well, never mind. I was going to say as a result, he's behind, but he is not behind at all. He was droning up like crazy. We saw they only had those 4 Zerglings on the ground before. He had 2 queens. He probably did a double larva inject, and had a couple rounds of drones just before that, although he must have pooled some some larva. Or I guess he just had maybe the next rounds of larva inject. Anyway, point being, he has been droning up. Other than that those Zerglings he made, they fend off that attack. So he started off with a good number of Zerglings, more than I was expecting, as a matter of fact. So he's actually ahead in income. BratOK, though, getting his expansion up and is starting to produce SCVs out of both command centers, so he is going to be able to catch up relatively quickly, since the Zerg player is going to have to start producing some more units here at some... Well, actually, you know what? He still has a lot of Zerglings. He's got a Baneling nest as well, so actually he can pretty much just chill. Looks like he's going to go ahead and make a 3rd base as well, come to think of it, and it's going to go over here and put this hatchery down, and already creeping up the area between his hatchery and his new expansion. I like that. Very, very good move. And yeah, actually, he's doing pretty good. We've got so many Zerglings here that if a Terran does move out, he can pretty much just switch up and morph a lot of those into Baneling, so he doesn't really actually need a lot of other forces right now, and we can see he is droning up. Of course, Spire just finishes, so he does start to produce Mutalisks as well. I'm not sure what this Mutalisk is doing, just kind of going off on his own. Maybe he wants to get a scout in. It's kind of an expensive scout to send in a Mutalisk for that, or maybe he just has it rallied there. Let's see here. Nope, not rallied over there. That's a little bit strange. Anyway, lots of Zerglings out on the map now. He's been producing even more Zerglings, upgrading the centrifugal hooks, so his Banelings are going to have speed upgrade as well. Look at this, 1 Mutalisk versus 1 SCV. Is he going to get the turret up? No, the turret is not going to get up. 1 Mutalisk harass. This is the smallest Mutalisk harass I've ever seen in my entire life. And he might even just take down that turret. The turret's down to 50 health, actually. Oh, medevac coming in. Healing up that SCV. Anyway, that was kind of an amusing little harassment. Hopefully he's producing, yeah, he's producing more Mutalisks as well. So he's going to have 7, and he possibly is going to produce more as well. Good little clump. You really don't start getting too dangerous with the Mutalisks until you get larger numbers, though, so that's kind of interesting. Anyway, so he's getting his 3rd base up, though, and he does have enough, well, yeah, barely enough drones to start using that base. He's going to start droning it up more, though. Yeah, okay, there we see some even more drones being produced. So BratOK is going to have to do something here to put pressure on the Zerg player. Otherwise, his economy is going to start going redonkulously crazy. And couple Thors out. I like that. Well, yeah, I kind of like that. Preemptive Thors. I don't know if the Zerg knows about this. I don't think DarkForce knows. He's going to find out very soon and not going to be happy about that. About those Thors. Oh, running in, he might pick off this tank, though. Oh, 2 Thors coming in. Massive damage, popping these Mutalisks very quickly, while popping a Mutalisk, doing massive amounts of damage to some more. Well, another Mutalisk is very low on health right now. And that is why you get Thors, because they do very well against Mutalisks. Well, they kind of need to... Oh, this is really clever. We've got Hellions running in the front here, and they're going to go for these drones, and there's nothing to defend except for this one. Actually, there's... Oh, what is this? No infestation pit morphing in, but lots of drones are going to get killed by these Blue Flame Hellions. Oh, tons of damage. Doing a drop with more Blue Flame Hellions at the other side, roasting another half dozen drones. That gets cleaned up. These Hellions get in there, get tons of drone kills, and still live to almost escape, but they decide to sacrifice their lives for, looks like 3 or 4 more drone kills. Beautiful, beautiful play. And if we actually look over here, Oh my goodness, 40 drones. He was at 60. He was just at 60 a moment ago, and he actually just pops up to 54. So in the midst of that attack, he produced all drones basically. And wisely is going to start putting some a Spinecrawler at his main and his third base over here, so that he can fight off those Hellions a little bit easier. But still, those, oh my god, that was beautiful, beautiful Hellion play. And in the meantime, BratOK's actually gotten his third base up over here. This is an interesting spot for those Thors. Oh, look at it. Wow. Oh, Jesus. DarkForce is creeping this place up like crazy. This is amazing. He's got creep tumors going all over the map. This is actually really, really nice creep spread he's got going. Anyway, creeping all the way up the back here, all the way to the side expansion. Note he took down the rocks over here. Mutalisks flying around trying to catch things. And oh, there's that medevac coming in with 2 more Hellions. Oh, popped before it could even get a Hellion out. Nicely done with those Mutalisks being very on top of things. I think he probably saw the drop with one of these Overlords around and was able to make use of that. Uh-oh, countering some Marines. Ooh, those 2. And I don't know if he actually did that on purpose, but BratOK targeting the damaged Mutalisks actually takes out a couple of Mutalisks with very few Marines. So nicely done. Anyway, where'd those Thors go? There they are. Okay, they're just camped out in the front now. Jesus, that is a lot of tanks. I haven't looked back at the Terran's base for a while. He's making a lot of tanks. He's basically going all mech at this point, and that is a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. Unless you're a Zerg player. It's so difficult to deal with mech. I mean, you can... Well, it is and it isn't, actually. I mean, if you can get Broodlords, then it can be very easy to deal with the mech, depending on how they react to it. That is a lot of Mutalisks, actually. So this is actually a little bit dangerous. He's only got these 2 Thors. If he magic boxes those Thors, he can take out everything else. It's really important to have some Marine support. Well, I mean, it depends on your playstyle. Obviously, BratOK is just going ahead and just going with heavy mech. Oh, is it going to burn down? Burns down. And there's those Thors a little bit too immobile, a little bit clunky getting over here. He's going to have to depend on a lot of turrets, basically, to hold things off. The Thors, so what I was going to say about the magic boxing is the Thors basically need some kind of support to really be effective. Otherwise, you just do a magic box, and what that means is if you have the Mutalisks selected and you just right-click right next to them, they clump up on that space. But if you right-click somewhere way across the map, they will center on that point, and so they won't clump up until they get to that point way across the map. So you can, if you have them right here, you can right-click way, way, way across the map, and then when they're on top of the Thor, you really quickly hit A-click, and I click to the Army tab to see that the armies are exactly even in supply. As part of demonstrating that. Anyway, you A-click and then they kill the Thors and they're not as clumped up, so they don't take the splash damage nearly as heavily. So anyway, that's what magic boxing is. I know. I just wanted to mention that because I end up saying that a lot, and all casters end up talking about that tactic a lot, and it's not really fully explained. Here come these Mutalisks coming in. They're going to see a lot of turrets, and they're actually going to break down these rocks. That is kind of interesting that he's breaking down the rocks with his Mutalisks. I'm not sure why he wants to give the Terran a good easy access point for running in Hellions and stuff into his main base. I guess at this point he's got so many bases all over the map. On 5th base coming up over here. Yes, 5th base going up down here in the sort of bottom right towards the middle. That his main base isn't actually that important anymore. He's got a hive, and oh, please tell me he's making some hive buildings. There is the Greater Spire. There's the Greater Spire, pops out. Beautiful. Oh my goodness, he's going to be producing some Corruptors. Actually, he's already got them. Broodlords on the way. I'm sorry I didn't see that until just now. Broodlords are morphing. He's got Infestors. He's got Banelings. He's got Zerglings. This is actually a really, really good army right now. Zerg is getting adrenal glands for the Zerglings, though, as well. So that is going to be super effective. I mean, that's basically what you want against Siege Tanks and Thors is Zerglings. And, of course, the Infestors are going to do very well as well. But here we go. See, he opened up the rocks for him. And Terran's like, all right, that's cool. I'm going to let my Thors kind of get stuck here. But I'm going to just power down your back hallway if you want me to. That's fine. He doesn't have his Thors with his army, though. They were distracted by the Overlord Mutalisks coming in, getting tons of free kills. 2 tanks go down, 3 tanks go down, 4 tanks go down, 5 siege tanks go down before the Thors come to the rescue. And that is huge because these Broodlords are coming in now. And he goes in, he magic boxes the Thors. Broodlords trying desperately to kill off Fungal Growth, stopping the Hellions in their path. Zerglings and Banelings taking him out instantly. After he magic boxes the Thors, the Mutalisks and Broodlords clean up the siege tanks. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful play. And BratOK is down to 150 supply. Just his reinforcements there, basically. Losing a ton of units. And DarkForce still maxed out, coming with a ton of Zerglings. That one Thor is not going to do anything against these mass Zerglings. They're going to slaughter all the SCVs. BratOK running a couple Hellions in here. These Hellions might be enough. Actually, tons of Ghosts in the mix. That is a strange thing to see. And they're actually just running in and, whoa, actually wiping up really well. Mostly due to those Hellions, I think. But that was kind of interesting. I'm not sure if he actually used snipe or if they just were just attacking. They've actually got, oh wow, I didn't realize they were actually that awesome against the light units. 20 damage versus light units, so they're actually two-shot Zerglings. And here they come against the Broodlords, though. They're probably going to get owned by these Broodlords. The medevac overhead trying to help out, and he is sniping the Broodlords as well. Mass sniping them, forcing them to fall back slightly. And he's just going to fall back because the Thors can't get close enough. Orbital Command burning down in midair right now. More Mutalisks running around. This is turning into a crazy game. In the meantime, the Terran has taken this base over here, but a Nidus Worm has popped up in the left, and he doesn't even have anything loaded in the Nidus Worm right now. I'm sorry, there's so much stuff going on all over the map. It's hard to keep track of it all, but he does have these Broodlords, and I really want to see. I'm going to keep that Nidus Worm clicked for as long as I can because I want to see if something enters into it. I think he sees it, though, and these Hellions are going to come up and try to deal. Yeah, he saw the creep there. And so he's going to run these Hellions up and dispatch that Nidus Worm pretty quickly. That is unfortunate. That was kind of a clever place to put that. He may have put that there a while ago. I'm not exactly certain. Anyway, if we go back to the income tab, 76 drones. He's pretty much mined out here, so he doesn't need a ton there. Pretty much mined out here. Actually, those should really be transferred down here right now because they're not doing any good where they are on so many drones on this one patch. Anyway, it looks like we might see a Zergling counterattack running up around the top, and that could be a beautiful move. This one siege tank, and I'm hearing a Nidus Worm popping up over here, but in the meantime, he's just going straight in the front door. He put a planetary fortress on the top of this ramp just to defend with all those turrets, and they are just going to get obliterated by this planetary fortress. The Zerglings, that is. Going for the Ghost Academy, that would actually be huge if he's able to get it, but these Hellions are going to run in and dispatch that. Again, another failed Nidus Worm is just going to get, oh no, he pops out Banelings onto the SCVs, killing it off. Beautiful move, wow. And they're going to run right in, trying to get some hits on these SCVs. Oh, the Planetary, it looks like Planetary killed the Baneling in the front, which killed the others, or something like that. I'm not, yeah, that Nidus Worm rather is not going to be long for this. Well, I would say this Earth, but this isn't really an Earth. A little bit overkill on that Hellion, throwing down some infested Terrans and fungling just the one Hellion. Probably not necessary, but it looks like it might have gotten a few drone kills in here before heading down there. So, you know, you want to stomp on that before it can really do any major damage. This Overlord is just being really annoying. He's so annoying, he's just start building a turret in the back here just so you can see when more Nidus Worms pop out. I'm really surprised, well, never mind. I was going to say... I was surprised those Zerglings didn't do more damage, and partly that's just because they went in and moved on this planetary fortress, which just owned them. Look at this, 32 kills on that planetary fortress, absolutely ridiculous. Zerg taking the top middle now. Terran has a huge army in the middle of the map. Look at this, a ton of Ghosts, and I don't think he even has a nuke in play or anything like that. He doesn't have a nuke. He does have some of the upgrades for the Ghosts. I believe they have the energy upgrade on them now. And, oh man, this is just crazy. We got level 3 armor, though, for ground units for the Zerg player. And, that's going to be really good. Actually, at this point, it's not going to be that good. With the Terran having this many upgrades and this units, the Carapace upgrade isn't going to do a whole lot of good, come to think of it. But these are some Broodlords. That is a ton of Broodlords. Oh, mass snipe! Mass snipe on the Broodlords! Nice! He's falling back, but the Broodlords are now getting some Broodlings out, and he actually infests. Oh my god, he just... Oh, I seriously, I'm sorry, I usually don't do this, but I need to go back and see that again. That was so awesome. He actually mind-controlled that and started using snipe on the other Ghosts, I believe. That was hilarious. At the very least, he controlled it. Actually, don't know if he got any snipes off there, but that is a ton of Ghosts there. He does get another one, and immediately, though, the tanks just keep killing off. Oh, EMPs the Infestor, but the Neural Parasite had already gone down. Tons of damage being done to these Ghosts, but the medevac slowly, barely keeping them alive. And somehow the Terran just holding that off, despite the fact there are major Broodlords there. This Thor is down to just almost a few hit points, only a few hit points left. There are some SCVs though repairing, and he's in the meantime shelling this hatchery. He needs to kill off these tanks at the bottom, but the Thors do have a ridiculous range, and it looks like they are gonna pop 2 of those Broodlords. Ton more Broodlords popping out though. They need to be careful not to clump up though. Jesus, that is 9 Broodlords, and looks like these infestors are on their way to doing something awesome. Not quite though. He really should have, in fact, maybe neural parasited those Thors. Might have been a good thing to do, or the siege tanks in front. But he's actually forced them to fall back, and that is a ton of Broodlords moving across the map. This is getting ridiculous, and I don't see any sign of Vikings. He doesn't even, yeah, he's just got this starport. That's it, just the one starport. He might want to consider putting a reactor on that sucker and start getting out some Vikings. Planetary Fortress, random PF in the middle of the choke point just to hold this section here. But tons of Broodlings, just massive amounts of Broodlings coming in here. Snipes coming down from the back. He has the Blue Flame Hellions in there as well, which are good for clearing out Broodlings, but obviously don't do anything at the Brood Wars. Looks like someone who's lagging has to leave. Anyway, this is absolutely ridiculous. Massive amounts of damage. Snipes going down left and right. He's just mass sniping the Broodlords. It's not being as effective as it could be, though. He's still got most of his Broodlords left. Little force of infestors and some banelings there just to soak it up. He puts out some infested Terrans just to soak up damage. It looked like just so he can get close enough to fungal these tanks. And those Terrans are going to go down very quickly. His massive mech army. Oh, baneling barely getting in there, taking things out. It looks like, oh my god, I'm going to jump back again, because in the middle of that massive battle in the top, there was a huge battle coming in here. Zerglings streaming out of this Nidus Canal. Looks like a few dozen Zerglings are going to start taking out all kinds of units. The Terran is going to be forced to fall back, but this is going on at the same time as that battle in the middle, basically. So the Terran is going to be forced to fall back here. He doesn't even seem to have any reinforcements. A round of Hellions might be really nice, but he's taking out all kinds of stuff. He's taking out depots. He's taking out a starport and a factory. I don't know why he's not lifting it. Finally, this PF in the main base is going to be helpful. Tanks coming up the ramp here to try and help out. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is ridiculous. The Zerg now has this top base, but he doesn't really have the drones to support all these bases. He's got this bottom one, 3 drones on it. This top one, 3 drones on it. This one, 5 drones on it. And then he's got a bajillion drones on these 2 patches. The Zerg really needs to be a little bit more careful about the positioning of his drones. He could really be a lot more effective. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Command center running away from a small horde of little zombie infested Terrans. And it looks like the Zerg player really wants to be able to get in here as well. Terran's rebuilding his production facilities up here. Makes sense. He's got a more defensible position here because he's got the planetary fortress, he's got the tanks. Terran now is counterattacking, and this is exactly what he needs to do, is cut down on these Zerg bases, cut down on the Zerg being everywhere, because, you know, if he can fight on his own terms, right now the Zerg doesn't have a whole lot to deal with this. The Broodlords are very slow, so they have a hard time getting up to this location. He's got, look at this, what is that, 4 Thors in there. One of them still very badly damaged. He's actually going to comsat and run away. Does not want to try and engage on this choke that much. Apparently, well, maybe he is. He comsats. He sees exactly what's there. Is he going to choose to engage? He might choose to engage. He's probably going to siege up and try to deal with those first. Actually, EMP going off, trying to take care of that. But he infests the ghost, and the ghost is now doing damage to the other ghosts. Looks like he doesn't get. He used up his snipes or maybe his EMP or something like that. Oh my god! I think he EMP'd the ghosts with the infested ghost. I didn't see what happened there. Fungal says, no, you cannot get away. You cannot escape with the rest of your army. And Broodlings make sure that that command is not carried out. Wow. Zerglings running into the front of the base, by the way. I think they just ran straight in past this planetary fortress. Are now taking out these more production facilities. Hellions are going to come out at just the right moment. Absolutely ridiculous. More Zerglings coming in, getting roasted by mass Hellions here. And I think he kind of needed those Hellions a little bit more than, well, I mean, the ghosts were doing a fantastic job of mass sniping the Broodlords. Hellions charging in here, just clearing out what they can, trying to take out creep tumors, trying to take out queens. And normally Hellions aren't that good against queens when it's just a couple. But oh no, we're gonna see a drone slaughter here. Oh no, all the drones. Actually, he's not even targeting the drones. Fungal on all of those Hellions. Beautiful job. He needs to follow up with something though, because they won't quite die to that one fungal. I think it takes 3 actually. He's gonna throw down some infested Terrans there. but these Hellions just going to work. In the meantime, Zerg counterattacking with Broodlords over here and over here. Mass snipes going down there to clear out those Broodlords, and but there's nothing over here. Planetary Fortress is not long for this world with these Broodlords barreling down on. That is an enormous amount of Broodlords. Anything over one line of Broodlords is a ton, basically, because they're so expensive and so powerful. There goes that Planetary Fortress. He actually is going to get supply block if he doesn't come back and save these supply depots. And he's actually, I think he just targeted them. I don't know why he moved his. Anyway, those Hellions are still alive, still running around killing drones. It looks like they've completely cleared out this base. They're now coming down here and clearing out more. Some roaches popping out for the first time in the game. Roaches coming into the play, and wow, mass big air. This is like you know, a BGH game from StarCraft 1 where you just get mass big air. And I'm not sure exactly what BratOK can do about this. He's got a few factories over here. There's, I mean, even if he comes out with a bunch of Vikings right now, DarkForce has a bunch of corruptors there as well. Here comes the mass sniping though. Uh-oh, here comes a ton of ghosts. He's got, looks like a dozen ghosts. He's having to fall back from these broodlings. If he can get close enough, he can just snipe the crap out of everything, but I don't think he can get close enough at this point. More roaches somehow managed to make their way all the way in here, and this planetary is still alive. He's been forced away from this location. Anyway, there's those Broodlords. And where did those ghosts go? The ghosts still... Okay, ghosts are with these tanks coming into this side. Looks like he's going to try and counterattack. I think he actually... yeah, he's down to 50 drones. Actually, it's still a sizable amount of drones. He might have recouped some. Looks like he has recouped some, and he's putting some spine crawlers down here as well. But if he can take out these bases, then DarkForce will not be mining at all. So it might just be a race to the finish. It might just be a base trade. I don't know why he's not lifting any of these buildings, actually. He lifted this orbital, but he's not really lifting any of his... okay, now he just lifts everything, of course. But that hatchery gets completely owned very quickly by his massive mech army with 3 upgrades. Actually, no, 3 weapons, only 1 armor upgrades. The armor upgrades would actually do very, very well against all these broodlings right now and Zerglings and such. He probably would want to get those. I don't know if he has an armory anymore. Anyway, BratOK is completely supply blocked. He's at 100 out of 68 supply, and he does have some money in the bank, though. He's got a lot of gas, actually, as well. Oh, sniping, literally sniping. Sniping in more than one sense, I guess, that Broodlord, as it just went by the edge of his ability to, at the edge of his range, I guess, for that snipe ability. Which has a pretty big range, apparently. DarkForce trying to drone up. BratOK has a lot of SCVs building. All of his SCVs are building supply depots right now, so he's actually got a little bit lower income than he should at the moment. Here comes that Zerg army, massive air units, but the Thors, if he can get some Thor shots on those clumped up Broodlords, actually they're not quite as clumped up as more mass snipes though, going down, taking out these Broodlords very, very quickly. This is insane, and oh, he does, oh, he did it! He neural parasited the ghost, and then EMP'd the rest of the ghosts. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful play by DarkForce. Massive. Oh my goodness, he doesn't even need, he's just going to be able to, oh, and he takes over the Thor as well, which turns around and starts owning tanks. It looks like he's just going to kill his own Thor at this point, because it's very low on health. No, he's not going to kill it, actually, and it's going to wake back up and immediately die to Broodlords. This is absolutely insane. He's trying to hold off at this planetary fortress. He needs to get all of his SCVs repairing that planetary fortress. He needs to repair it. He does not repair it. He's just going to fall back, and at this point, BratOK is just barely mining from this base. In the meantime, though, Hellions taking out drones left and right all around the map as well. Absolutely insane. Just massive amounts of infested Terrans going down, very quickly getting obliterated by tank fire and what have you, but still, BratOK is just barely clinging to dear life right now, and Jesus, that is a ton of infestors. He's like, all right, I guess he's just had a bunch of extra gas to spare, and he just said, all right, I'm just going to go mass infestors. Infestors obviously very good against mech units. Hellions going to run in chasing those drones. Oh, get creamed, and are going to be forced back. This game has been absolutely ridiculous. Plays going back and forth all over the map. Wow, this is ridiculous. He's actually going to go back. I know I've said ridiculous a few times now. I apologize, but his mech army is slowly getting whittled down. He still has a good chunk of tanks. He still has the 1 Thor. He's got some ghosts left for anti-air. But the Zerg player just keeps making more and more Broodlords. Is not able to really get the killing blow in, though, because he's only been mining here. he hasn't been mining anywhere else because his bases keep getting taken out by this mech army, this wandering mech army, and he keeps getting all of his drones killed by roving Blue Flame Hellions. So he's actually not been able to get up enough money to really do that killing blow. Both players kind of at a ceasefire right now. Just as I say that, these Corruptors are heading somewhere with some Broodlords in trail. Broodlords trailing, I should say. Dropping some mules over here. It looks like he might try and take that out. Terran coming down here to take out the 6 unlock base, though. Is the Zerg going to fall back down there or not? No, he's actually going to morph all of his remaining Corruptors into Broodlords. A little bit dangerous if the Terran decides to get any air, which I don't think he actually even has a starport right now. Oh, he's going to be able to shell this base. Oh, is he going to cancel it? Does cancel at the last moment. Beautiful by DarkForce. And here's the thing, he doesn't have any Corruptors, so he can't really even polish off that orbital command. So that's kind of interesting, but at the same time, he does have 10 Broodlords. Jesus, they are scary, scary units. They've just, I mean, it's almost like the fact that they move slow almost makes them even more intimidating. Anyway, Zerglings just kind of randomly rampaging around and just forcing BratOK to get back here and clear those out. And Zerg is actually taking that base where this orbital command was trying to take earlier. He's back to, yeah, let me just double check here. Yeah, still chilling at 40 drones. Still chilling with this huge army of infestors in the middle of the map. Now, BratOK has basically holed up here. This is his last mining base at the moment. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be mined out pretty soon. It's pretty defended because he's got the planetary. He's got some turrets there. Remade his Ghost Academy so he could keep building ghosts at these barracks randomly on the low ground that may have floated from the main base. And wow, just these ghosts have just been absolutely epic. And the infestors have been pretty epic as well, taking control of the ghosts and using them against each other. That was pretty hardcore. Here comes BratOK across the top. If he can somehow kill off this base and then shell here, he might be able to come back into it because then the Zerg will not be mining at all. He's shelling this base. Where's the Zerg's forces? Here comes those infestors. He's probably going to plant out, send in Zerglings, or yeah, plant out infested Terrans to soak up some damage while he goes in with the infestors to try and do some fungals. Or maybe he's just going to mass infested Terran to cover for the Broodlords. Broodlords coming in. He's sniping the crap out of the Broodlords. There he goes. He gets off a fungal on all of the ghosts. All of the ghosts have been fungaled. Mass. Oh my goodness. And I think he actually did. No, he didn't get it off. Yes, he did get off an EMP, I think. Oh my god. EMP. No, maybe not. Maybe just the snipes, actually. Never mind. He didn't get off an EMP with the neural parasited ghost after all. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I'm surprised he didn't do more fungals, actually, in that battle. He actually, if he'd gotten a couple more fungals off, he probably could have killed off all these ghosts. But now the Terran player shelling this expansion down here as well, from here. And if he just gets over here a little bit farther and shells this expansion, the Zerg will not be mining, and that would be huge. Sending some Hellions down here as well. In the meantime, Zerglings trying to assault. He just keeps sending out these random Zerglings. And you might as well, right? Because Zerglings are super mobile. They've got those adrenal gun upgrades, so they take out buildings super fast. But if he can move in over here, just close enough to shell this supply line, BratOK might be able to come back into this. Here's those infestors, though. They have something to say about it. And he needs to. He just needs to move a little bit quicker. He actually might mine out, but this. No, it's not going to mine out anytime soon. Blue Flame Hellions really doing an excellent job of holding off these mass random Zerglings from killing off his buildings and such. And this is absolutely ridiculous. BratOK, what's he doing? He's got vision up there because of this. Broodlords coming in. A lot of snipes in the bank, though. Broodlords turning around. I think that's enough snipes to take out all 4 of those Broodlords. I believe there are more Broodlords on the map, though. Here comes those infestors. Oh, is he going to try? What's he going to do? Is he going to capture one? Neural Parasite goes off. He EMPs all the ghosts! No snipes available at all. The Broodlords come in. There's no snipes. Actually, the one ghost that was parasited did not EMP itself, apparently, or something. Wow, that was ridiculous. Oh my god, so much energy damage done in that one EMP. That was so awesome. And that may have just saved the game for the Zerg player for DarkForce, because now, okay, random roach popping out to deal with these. He has been absolutely relentless with these Blue Flame Hellions, taking out drones all over the place. And actually, yeah, he's down to 28 drones now. So it's just these drones at this base, basically, that are on the map. And the Broodlords are flying very, very slowly down to the south end to try and deal with these Hellions. He doesn't have anything else. He really should actually keep them up here, though, because that's where he's mining. He needs to defend that position. But in the meantime, I guess he doesn't know this, but BratOK has actually sent his army down to the bottom. He's going to try and support this lower push instead. He's apparently given up on taking over this position, which really, again, like I said, if he'd been able to siege up here, could have come back in the game. He still might come back into the game yet. Maybe not, though. He's not mining. He needs to get a base. Okay, if he can somehow take this base, he's going to drop a few mules. He needs those mules. The Zerg player is nowhere nearby. Looks like the Broodlords were able to clean up those Hellions, but not before the hatchery died. So, not that good of a trade. A lot of roaches on the ground now, which is actually going to be pretty good against ghosts, I think. Actually, let's see. They're biological. I haven't seen okay, so actually the roaches don't have any extra damage against any particular kind of unit. For some reason I thought they did against bio, but maybe not. Anyway, look at this. Oh my gosh, massive infested Terran's gonna force this orbital command. Luckily the infested Terrans actually go slower than orbital commands do when they're flying, but it doesn't even matter because he actually got all these mules are basically worthless now because they're having to lift up. I mean, they're obviously they're timed units, so they're gonna expire before you can use them again. I'm not sure why he's sending them up here, to be honest. And SCVs as well. He's gonna start distance mining from here. Okay, that's interesting. Still has a bunch of ghosts. He needs to be very, very careful. He needs to. Oh yes, there he finally got cloak. Finally got cloak. And if we look at the units tab, there are no overseers on the map. There are no overseers. So this time he's gonna be able to lead the charge with his cloaked ghosts, and he's gonna be able to EMP the infestors so he can't take over his own ghosts. This is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. BratOK might actually be able to get back in here. He's now starting to shell this location. He's distance mining this top, but this roach has something to say about it. There's ghosts. Oh no, the infestors are behind you. Oh, get EMP! EMP! Yes, EMPs all the infestors. He EMPs all the infestors. He's not gonna be able to take out. Looks like he's trying to kill off. Doesn't have enough energy really for many snipes, but he EMPs all the infestors, so the infestors can now not take over his own ghosts and use them to his own disadvantage. BratOK now shelling this expansion. This hatchery is going to go down very quickly. He's still not mining anywhere though, so it still comes down to this. But somehow BratOK barely holding on. And does he even have an income? He has no income right now. BratOK has no income. He's got 81 supply to 166 for the Zerg. Now, a good chunk of that supply is in these infestors, which are useless at the moment because none of them have any energy. They are going to be able to charge up pretty quick for fungals. They are not going to have the energy for neural parasites for a while, though. Well, actually, it's only a little bit more. But actually, still not even going to have fungal very soon. And now this orbital command has landed. He's sending his SCVs there. He's actually going to have an income here. He's got a good army composition. He's got the Hellions for any ground units. He's got the ghosts there, which are doing an epic job against sniping broodlords and such. And he's got a couple siege tanks in there to range things. He's gonna land down here at this command center, at this base here. You might want to bring his SCVs down there. And oh my gosh, huge roach army. The roaches might just be the trick here. They're gonna be able to do good against everything. EMP on all the infestors though. Massive snipes going down. Everything cloaks. And he's having to fall back from the cloaked ghosts. Oh my gosh. Cloaked ghosts are chasing back a massive roach army that could easily own all these ghosts in just a face-to-face battle. Broodlords are coming in here. They're going to have to run away. He might be able to snipe all of these broodlords. Is he going to be able to kill them off? He's going to be able to kill off one. A little bit too far to get. Whoop. Oh, transfuse. Transfuse. Nice clutch transfuse. Saving another broodlord as well. And those ghosts are actually going to have to decloak at some point is the thing. So these roaches are just like, all right, you want to cloak? That's cool. We'll run away until you run out of energy. He actually decloaks them to save his energy a little bit. But this is a massive army. I don't think he's going to be able to take this army out with just what he has. Here come the ghosts under attack. He needs to cloak again. There's no overseer still, though, but they're low on energy. Fungal growth making them invisible. The roaches pounce down on all the ghosts. GG coming from BratOK. GG DarkForce with an epic finale to one of the most epic games ever. Takes the game. Wow, that was absolutely amazing. He did not get the EMP on the infestors that time. The fungal growth forces them to become visible, and the roaches polish off the ghosts, which were the last vestments of BratOK's army, and he GG's Very, very, very well played. That was so freaking awesome. Oh my god. Oh, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. You gotta hand it to BratOK for hanging on by the loosest of threads, by the barest of threads rather, and just doing so much to come back into this game, taking out hatcheries, shelling from here, there, everywhere. I'm not sure why this replay is not complete. Okay, finally someone leaves the game at the end who wanted to make sure there's plenty of random mining by drones at the end of this replay. I mean, BratOK was pretty dead for a while there because he didn't have an economy, but he almost got back into it, I think. Almost. Wow. Oh, my God. I hope you guys enjoyed that game. That was so, so awesome. Thanks very much for watching. GG.